How's it going on lockdown there, Joe?
But I ain't finna look for proof. I tripped across them cause I seen it was planned. The truck had me out but didn't know how to count. Told her ring up and didn't know the amount. Expensive new berries I couldn't even pronounce. No gun polish to stick in the pot. Hope nobody gets out of their body. Got himself hurt, he was full of that money.
Oh my god.
Did you learn from your mistake, young man?
Yeah, learn from my mistake.
So,
A lot of learning.
you've been on house arrest for a couple weeks now.
Oh no,
I mean, not house arrest, but ankle monitor.
Technically, it's called home detention.
Home detention.
Home detention for what's Tuesday? 8 days.
Yeah.
Right, because it was last Monday, so 8 days. Yeah, 8 days.
How has it been messing with your head? You said that you're not doing too well.
It's terrible. Not terrible in the sense that it's terrible because of my living conditions, or terrible because I'm at work all day. Like I like that. Terrible in the sense that I'm not sleeping well, and I don't know if it's partly because I'm on prep, but it's too early.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so it's still a little bit too early. I'm not that lean, so when I'm on prep, I don't sleep that well. When you're too lean, you start to really lose sleep. Your body's not really sure what to do with itself. Fight or flight kicks in. It's trying to survive, and sleeping just isn't something that's required when you're constantly hungry. So, but that's not till later. So I'm having nightmares.
What kind of nightmares?
Killing, murder.
That you are?
Yeah, me, people around me. It's bringing up a lot of memories. I think what it's doing, it's bringing up memories of my past. It's bringing up memories of, because this is my fourth time that I've had something on my ankle. The very first time I had something on my ankle, I was 14. And I think I lasted for like 2 weeks. I hated being at home just because my dad was an alcoholic, very abusive, and it was always arguing, drinking. And I remember I just cut it off and I took off. I'd rather be on the run. So I'd rather just be locked up rather than be on ankle monitor. Then I got incarcerated. I'm pretty sure it's for stolen cars a long time ago. And then I got put on ankle monitor one more time on top of that as a teenager in between court cases. And I stayed that time because it wasn't that long. And then when I got out of prison, I was put on the ankle monitor, but it was a little bit different. So when you're on the ankle monitor on parole, you have to leave the house at a certain time, or you can't leave the house before a certain time, and you need to be back home at another time. That's when I had my cleaning business. So they seen that I was going to all these different places, but I still had the freedom to come and go as I wanted. I just needed to be home by a specific time. Can't recall what it was.
So you have more freedom than you did right now.
Oh yeah, I can go wherever I wanted to. They were just monitoring me, but
Yeah.
I couldn't leave the house. I'm pretty sure it was before 6, and I needed to be back before 11. And I was always that was no problem, but I wasn't confined. I wasn't confined the way that I am now, even though technically it's almost the same thing, except I need to be assigned to a specific location and stay there. So I'm at the gym 12 hours a day. That's because I work, so I'm trying to fill up my schedule. But I think what it's doing, it's reminding me that I don't have the freedom to come and go as I want, or go to Starbucks, or go to just go on a walk. So it's fucking with me mentally. I didn't think it was gonna fuck with me this bad, to be honest with you, because I'm still free. I mean, Tina's here. I got my dog here, but the problem is I'm not a homebody to begin with. So staying home is one thing, but being told that you have to be there is something totally different. It's against my will, but I have to do this because I caused this. So I'm not my sex drive is almost gone. It's almost not even there. My mental state isn't the most positive. I'm trying to be positive, but it's not quite there.
Why do you think your sex drive is down?
I'm not even thinking about it.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm constantly thinking about my next breath. I'm constantly thinking about not being able to do what I really want to do.
It's got you consumed.
Yeah, it's literally got me consumed, just like when I'm on prep. But that doesn't really happen till later.
So now you're gonna have both to deal with, because you're gonna be on prep and lockdown.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not concerned about prep. Like that's not a problem. It's still too early on. I'm just more concerned about this, and I understand it's 45 days, but and then I was mentioning I don't even know if I could do a year. I don't even know what that would look like, a whole entire year. So I'm playing chess and playing card games. People come over. I can't have too many people, so it's not like I can have parties. I can only have 2 people over. So you're here. Tina's here. Her dad came over. My sister came over. Jen came over. So I got people coming over. It's like to visit, and I got stay hooked up to this thing for 2.5 hours a night. It's like I'm constantly thinking about this all the time. Funny thing is, a couple of people I know are actually on this too, because I took pictures of it while I'm watching TV. It's more common than I thought. I didn't know how common it was for this home detention. Some people get 2 weeks, some people get 6 months, some people get a year, some people get 8 months. So did I learn my lesson? Is there a lesson to be learned? Don't. If you're gonna get into an accident, stay there. How about there's a lesson to learn? If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. There's another lesson. If you're emotionally distraught, or if you're depressed or just not in the best state of mind, that's probably the biggest lesson. Don't get behind the wheel, or don't get behind any moving vehicle, whether it's a bike or anything. You're just not focused. You're not present. So the biggest thing that I'm noticing about me in this state is I'm not present. I'm physically there, but mentally I'm so far gone that it's bothering me. I'm still able to give my clients the service that they need, because I'm good at that, but I still don't feel like I'm on my normal bubbly, outgoing. And every now and then people ask me what did I do, or where what I got plans. I got no plans. I gotta go home. I gotta walk back to the apartment and sit there and plug into a wall and try to make the best of it. And Tina's sweet. She's like, well, maybe we can build a fort. I'm like, I don't want to build a fort. What am I gonna do with a fort? Like, she doesn't really know what to do with this. I don't even know what to do with this.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I was on this, and really, it's not. Is it a big deal? Physically, it's not a big deal. I'm free. But I think all of the attachments that I have to this are bringing up a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
That I haven't quite dealt with, and I don't know how to deal with it. So the same feelings that I had while I was in prison, or even getting transferred from prison to prison, the same eerie feeling are popping up because of this, because this has that same attachment. The attachment that I have when I have to go P-test. When I would go P-test, I got to listen to certain conversations with people. It brings up certain conversations that I remember trying to avoid while I was in prison. While I was taking a shower, something popped into my head. There was a transfer that I did. I can't recall which prison I was going to, but I remember getting shackled. So when you get transferred from prison to prison, you get shackled. Like your ankles get shackled, and then you get a waist chain around your waist, and then from your feet to the waist is shackled, and then you're shackled here on the sides. And it's really, really uncomfortable, because sometimes they put the ankle cuffs extremely tight, and your Achilles tendon flares up, so it's kind of hard to walk, and it causes a lot of pain. So this sometimes reminds me of that, because I got transferred so many times, and I'm in the shower thinking about this one time I got transferred, and there was an assault that happened. Because sometimes people are segregated. You have like general population that's back here, so they bring everybody that's in general population in the back, and then they have other people that are segregated, maybe higher security, maybe gangs that need to be separated, or people that need to get separated, and then they have a one-person cage as well, and then they have like all the rest of the people. And I remember this guy got out of his shackles. And then he had, I don't know how he got it was a razor or some object that he used, but this other guy was shackled, and he mangled his whole entire face up while we're on the bus while it's driving. And, the correction officers started to mace him. They could have shot, but there's a gunner in the back, there's a gunner in the front, there's a guy driving. But this thing is just bringing up a lot of memories that I don't feel comfortable with, and then I gotta come home in this demeanor and come home and try to present that everything's okay or that I'm happy, and then it makes me feel really low. Like I was telling Tina, sometimes I over the weekend I just want to be alone. Like I really just want to be alone. Like I don't wanna talk about it. I don't want to be around anybody. I feel like my energy is really low.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with being alone?
Yeah. Or being not happy about it. You don't have to pretend to be happy about it. You feel like you do?
Yeah, I pretend that, because other people are they're like, oh, it's not that bad. Well, it's not that bad because it's not happening to you. It's happening to me. Like your life isn't quite like mine was, and you don't have this attachment to this thing. You can slap this on maybe 3 or 4 other people, and they don't have this level of attachment to this thing that's negative.
Yeah.
These attachments that we have to things in life, I'm attached to these things now, so I can't get away from it at night. I can't get away from it during the day. I can't I can't even sleep properly.
There's no way to detach from it, you think?
No, I mean I'm attached, but
No, I mean like emotionally detached from it.
Is there a way? Maybe.
To where it doesn't fuck with you as much?
I don't know. It's not getting any easier.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I had a bodybuilding show. That went well, so I was able to at least go to the bodybuilding show. And then this weekend we have a big event at the gym from 10 to 5, so I'm able to do that. So that kind of breaks up my day on Saturday. But then I'm back here, and even coming back here, if there's an attachment. Normally I get to the apartment and I like being here. But now there's an attachment to this place that, like I don't like walking over here, like
Because you have to be home.
I dread it. Yeah, it's a messed up feeling. And then sometime today I was walking to the gym and I dreaded to go to the gym.
Which never happens.
Nope. And now so I'm dreading to go there because I know that I have to be there, and then I'm dreading to come back just because I have to do something, because somebody's telling me I have to do something. And for so long, that was pretty much my whole life. For 12 years, I had to wait for somebody to open the door. I had to wait for somebody to let me out. I was constantly waiting for other people, for other things. And then when I got out, like I told myself, I'm no longer waiting anymore. Like I don't want to wait around for people that are just wasting time. That's all they do is waste time. Hours go by, days go by, weeks go by, months go by, and they're wondering why they're nowhere near where they want to be, because that's all they do is waste time. Distractions, social media, television, videos. Relationship could be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Right? If it's not a productive relationship, and then fast forward a year and a half later, and they're nowhere near.
Like, what the fuck did we do? Yeah.
And I don't live my life like that. So, and I'm constantly thinking about all these things. So is it fun? No. Did I learn anything? I learned I made a horrible mistake. And I also learned that I thought I was going to take this a lot easier, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I got myself out of prison because I picked up books and I learned my mistakes, and I learned I shouldn't do certain things. But I find myself in this specific state, in this specific moment right now where I feel lost. Like I don't know how to get myself out of this. Right? If I was alone, I probably would I would do things a little bit differently. I probably, because that's how I got myself out of prison. I secluded myself to my own thoughts, and I didn't care about what other people were doing. It was a distraction. They weren't doing anything constructive. They were in my way. And if you're in my way, I'm not progressing forward fast enough.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I want to be alone, so that I can figure out alone like how to mentally get myself out of this jam. And that's what I did in prison. Because nobody in there was going to help me. They couldn't help me because they couldn't even help themselves. COs couldn't help me. My cellies couldn't help me.
Yeah.
Then I got to go stand in line at P-test and hear these other two dudes talking about cellies and busting spreads and all this terminology that I'm like, this is not what I want to be doing right now.
Yeah.
Not on a Sunday. And then from here I need to go back, and then I'm thinking, man, what if I can't pee? Then I got to get 10 more days on this thing. So I'm doing a pee-pee dance. I got to go pee.
Oh, you got to hold it till they get here?
No.
You're talking about when you were locked up?
No, on Sunday. But I mean, I've had the pee test before, like on call. That was easy. But when you're out of it,
They can give you 10 more days though if you don't pee.
The first time, they said I get 10 more days on ankle monitor. Second time, I go to jail. Because they look at it as,
Trying to skip out on it.
yeah, and that's
Like a dirty test almost.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I missed my blowing on Saturday because I was busy with one of my competitors. And then I had to test, and you only get so many missed tests as well. You know, I'm trying to do everything to the best of my ability. Hopefully I can get off earlier. I don't know. That's just probably wishful thinking on my part.
Yeah.
But nobody's really giving me any shit for it. If anything, they just make fun of it. You want to bedazzle it or, you know, everybody's pretty cool about it. Like, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody cares like I do because they're not wearing this thing. They don't live my life. They're not.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like, so I can only try to give you some tips that have helped me lately. I don't know if it'll help you or not, but
What are they?
just this guided meditation I've been doing.
From who?
Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Oh, okay.
All these people I've been following on YouTube are good too, but it's helped change my life, and I don't know if that's why I mean, I totally agree with you now, because now I'm not playing around, and I don't have any time for people that aren't progressing either. Like, every now and then I'll go to concerts with random friends, but I think living with you helps, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't really have any downtime anymore, and even when I was still living here, I still like to have some downtime. But
Yeah.
I know what you mean by just not fucking around and wasting time, and I like that. It took me a while to get to this point, but seeing you live your life that way, I was like, God, like, it seems so exhausting at first, but it's not. Once you kind of get into the flow of that, then it's like, I don't want to sit. I don't want to, like, do nothing.
I mean,
So I feel that.
you have we all have the same 24 hours in one day.
Yeah.
Like, if you stop and think about it, you got a homeless person that has 24 hours in a day. You got a multi-millionaire that has 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
You got 1,000 there. You got 100 there. You got people that are broke. You got people that are married. People that got dogs, 6 dogs, 7 dogs. People that got disease, all 24 hours in a day. You got people in prison that got 24 hours in a day. I know people in prison that utilize their 24 hours better than people that are here free right
Yeah.
now. And the
That's
only
why
thing
you got out and started killing it, you know?
so we all have. It's just, what are you doing with your 24 hours?
Yeah, dude, I can't. Yeah.
So right now I feel like I'm not living to the best of my days that I want to live in my 24 hours
Yeah.
because of this. And I don't feel like I'm being true to myself. Like, I didn't.
What did you do in prison, though? You did something.
I studied, I read, I wrote, I learned, I played chess.
Write a book or something. You have to do something stationary that takes up a lot of your mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I do is I think.
Put it on paper. Put your thoughts on paper at least.
Yeah.
That way you're kind of like channeling it, rather than fucking just spinning your wheels.
And truthfully, I thought about taking all the clothes out of the closet and I know this may sound crazy, and actually confine myself to the closet with a pen and paper. And
Really?
I used to write novels. Like, I love to write. You know, I would thoroughly enjoy to write.
Yeah. I could see you writing a book for sure, man.
It's definitely it's an experience, you know. And I think I've beat myself up over and over and over about this one specific night, you know, just because I wanna show up for people. And
Which one about you getting your DUI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show up, you know. And I feel like a lot of people don't show up for one another because
Yeah.
they're not in their best capacity. They're not in their best headspace. It's always, I'm not in the best. I don't know, I can't do it. I'm not feeling well. And I never really wanted to be that person. I
Yeah.
never really wanted to be the person where I didn't show up for the people that I claimed that I really cared about. Like, if I claim that I care about you, but I'm never showing up for you. What is that really telling you? Like, clearly I don't really care about you, or like your needs and your events and your functions, and I'm just a selfish fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what it says. And I don't want to be like that. Now, granted, some people have more people in their lives that they want to show up for.
Yeah, you got hella people in your life. So if you show up for all them, it might be a detriment to you all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but I think me showing up for this one specific event was something that I probably should not have done.
Because you were under the influence?
No.
Or because you just didn't want to go?
Because mentally, I shouldn't have been. Mentally, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was too early with my separation, and I was still dealing with like suicidal thoughts, and
yeah, man.
I was just in a really dark place. I just wanted to be once again. I just wanted to be alone.
Yeah, dude. I don't when I'm having those thoughts. I can't go anywhere. Sunday I didn't feel like doing something, but I did it anyways, even because I was just tired and it was hot out, and I know I don't have AC. I'm like, but I said I would show up, so I went. But if I'm going super dark, I'm not coming to your function.
Yeah, but I know that being alone isn't the answer, and I know that for males, 70% of suicide is because they're lonely. They're alone.
Yeah,
For me, I don't know about women, but for males, the study that I did, 70% is because they're alone in loneliness.
Yeah, I could see that.
And guess what? I was alone and I was lonely, and it wasn't because I didn't have people in my life. It was just the state that I was in.
Yeah.
I was in an alone and lonely state. That's it, for a long time, and I wanted to show up, and it was because of that. I got careless. I just got a little careless. Also, driving around in the rain on slicks with a very fast car, going over center divide when nobody's around.
Yeah.
There could have been I relived that night over and over. But that night led me to this, and then this, I'm trying to take something constructive and positive from it, as opposed to it being more of a detriment and harming me. And, you make a valid point. Maybe I should write. Maybe I need to sit in this space. Maybe this is what I deserve. I sit in this space and
I think you do, man. I think you gotta find tranquility in sitting still, which you can. It's gonna be harder with that because you gotta check in and shit. But before you wouldn't ever sit still unless that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also I was also telling Tina that. Me and just sitting down and just being.
Never.
That's just not, so I'm having a hard time dealing with it. But 45 days is nothing in theory, but it could be everything in terms of how I actually channel my energy towards this. Yeah. Like talking about it, maybe other people can relate to it, but not maybe directly to this. But what about other attachments that we may have? What about attachments that we have to past relationships? Imagine all of the people that go from one relationship to another with these same attachments, with these same ankle monitors, hypothetically.
I think you can break those attachments.
So a lot of people don't break those attachments. Males, females. Females go from one guy to another. Males go from one girl to another with these same attachments with nothing that they've actually fixed, and they bleed all over the next person. And then they say that it's always the other person, but it's them.
It's not. It's always you. Yeah.
So if you go from one to another, maybe elevate your game, maybe change your standards, pick up new material, new literature. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe you can't seem to pick the right person. Maybe you need to be alone.
Maybe you need to be at home, Joe.
Maybe you need to be at home. But
I think you should lock. I think you should lock yourself in a room and then write a novel. Heath Ledger did that for the Joker. You know that?
No.
He would lock himself in the hotel room and just write a bunch of crazy thoughts, and then laugh about it. Like, here's a baby on fire. Ha ha ha! I'm the Joker. Maybe you don't need to go that dark, but.
Because
you've never said you've you've never told me you craved being alone until right now. So now on the weekends you're craving being alone. That's kind of a good thing, man. And then just channel that shit, and I bet you could write a dope book or whatever. Even just seeing your thoughts on paper will kind of like bring up what you want to manifest or whatever. Just write it down. You could write down the crazy shit that's going on in your head, and then you could write, you know, big plans that you have too, and feel them as feel it as like it's actually happened already. Like the big shit you want later on is already here. And then all the shit you want to happen might come quicker because you're present and still right now.
Yeah.
Because I know you're always taking massive action. That's not a problem for you.
No.
But the stillness is. But if you combine both of those, then you'd be a deadly fucking weapon.
Good point.
But I ain't finna look for pro. I tripped across them cause I seen it was planned. The track had me out but didn't know how to count. Told her ring up and didn't know the amount. Expensive new berries I couldn't even pronounce. No gun polish to stick in the pot. Hope nobody gets out of their